Alright, so here we are. So I was thinking for this video, I already worked out today. It was the grand opening of a Crunch Fitness nearby to me. So, I went there with some of the family. It was great. Did a sort of HIIT workouts, which, I'm a bodybuilder, so I don't really do those. But, just spending, time with family. But I have more stuff that I want to talk about. So I was like, maybe let me do only one exercise. And I've been meaning to make a video shorter anyways, about 25 minutes instead of 30. So I was like, well, I can't really do biceps for, just one exercise. What's a good one exercise that I can do? Well, there's really not many, except for I can practice the form on my tricep kickbacks. That'll be perfect. I don't have to go hard. I don't have to do, any of this stuff that you would have to do when you are actually working out. All I have to do is find my form. And so that's what we're going to do today. And I have plenty of stuff to talk about too. My channel stuff, bodybuilding stuff, movie stuff, and then anything that comes to my mind, of course. So let me get this camera set up, and I will, walk you through me finding out the best, good, clean form for tricep kickbacks. Okay. I'll put that on my bed. So here's the general consensus, right? Is to have my elbow higher up. That's what we're looking for. And so if you see my past videos, you would have heard that 25 is a little heavy. My triceps are weak. So I'm going to be using 20s, and we're going to figure this out, There we go. Perfect. All right. Okay. All right. So here's what we do, right? Up like this. See it like this? No. This is much better. Then you go. I'm gonna do my left side. That's the general consensus here. And that did feel a lot better. So I did my left side, and I think I realized it's not just about how high I can get my elbow, it's how I swing my forearm, I guess. I think that's what I'm missing on my right hand. I guess it just comes naturally on my left hand, but I need to figure out exactly what it is. So for this next set, if you see me sort of, kind of maybe drastically changing my form, you'll know that that's what I'm trying to figure out now. So, look at the biceps. Ooh, going crazy today. Abs, look at the top abs. Going crazy today. Right? Okay. And it's good that I have the camera too, because I can tell exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Right. Let me try that again. think I need to swing my arm higher. I think that's what I'm gonna try this on my left side. I'm swinging as high as I can. See if I can feel the burn on my left side, my left tricep. I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm not entirely sure if that's what it was. I'm gonna keep figuring. I might do another set actually, just cause I just want to figure this out. You know, you really only have to do that once, right? So I want to figure this out. I think it has something to do with me swinging it higher. Or maybe letting my arm like sag a little before I pick it up and then kick it back, instead of like holding it high the whole time, you know, to kind of let it go down and then kind of, I don't know. I think I'll try that in combination with lifting it as high as I can. Just thinking here for a second. I think it is just how high I swing it. So let me do that for my right side again, and I might do like one or two like off camera just to make really sure. I don't think I'll have to do a fourth set though. Okay, I do think that was it actually. Maybe my right side has maybe less like shoulder mobility, or it was like maybe like a mind muscle connection to where like I just couldn't, unless I really thought about it, you know, get my right arm as high. Or maybe it's muscle imbalance. Maybe my left is weaker, so I feel it more, even if I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm not sure. But I know if I can keep my elbow high and extend my arm as high upwards as I can, then it'll be much more effective. And so, hey, you know, did all you could, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, and we're under 10, look, done with the workout portion of the video, under 10 minutes. Ooh, my abs are going crazy today. See this line right here? Goes all the way down. You can see it like right here. I love that. It's one of my favorite features, right? The definition is some of my favorite features, you know, and I'll talk about that later. But like look at this, like this area. I mean, it's mind blowing, you know. It's so cool to look at. Ooh. Guys, don't skimp out on them hammer curls, bro. Look at that. Look at that. This is one massive muscle right here. Look, my bicep it'd be like this thick, right from the front. Look at all this extra thickness. Look at that. It's massive. Huge. Look, you can even tell it goes around here. See this bump right here? Right here? Whew, massive. Don't never skip out on your hammer curls, guys. It's huge. You're missing out on huge gains. Boom, right here. And you can't really see that good on this side, but it's fantastic. Anyways, I need to get a thumbnail. Thumbnail time. I should probably shave my armpits. mustache. I've actually talked about that before on one of my much older videos at the last house. I was like, it feels so weird to shave your armpits while they're like wet, you know? So you gotta wait till they're dry, and you can't have deodorant on them because then it'll screw up your your trimmer and all this. So there's like and you know, when they are like in the perfect state to cut them, it's like you forget, you know. So I'll think about it for like a week, and then it'll take me like a week to even get to the circumstances to where I can actually shave them. But I talked about that before. A long time ago. I do not have a good vacuum. Maybe it's because I'm just not lean enough. Probably because I haven't practiced it that much. But, or maybe it's the lighting. I think top-down lighting would probably help for that. But, a bigger back, a bigger chest. It'd probably help. Anyways, I hope I get something good out of that. I really couldn't think of anything. Okay. Apparently it won't let me do that. Anyways. So, we'll do the shorter topics first. I have 3 main topics. 2 of them are shorter. One of them is a little longer. So, probably the shortest topic is, if you would have seen the last 2 videos, you would have known that they were filmed 3 days ago. And so that gave me 2 break days from recording videos. The actual scheduled upload, because I already had a video saved for that day. And my regular break, I take every other day. And man, when I tell you, I was so bored. Like, I don't want to do that again. I was thinking, oh, this would be great, I won't have to film videos. Man, I won't even have to check my YouTube. Man, that put me, I was bored. I was like, man, I love doing this stuff, I love doing this. Why would I want to even take a break from it? Maybe that'll change later on. Probably. But, I don't know. It just made me feel weird, I was like, damn, I really should be filming a YouTube video right now. Anyways, guys, the next topic. Right in. And I'm neither the leanest nor the most muscular person by any means, but if you can't see your muscles, what is even the point of working out? Like how some of these guys do, like you can be huge and lean, what is the point of can you not do it? Or I mean, why wouldn't you? Dudes will be like, oh, if you lose weight, it'll make you weaker, but if I gained 15 pounds of fat, it wouldn't make me stronger. So if you lose 15 pounds of fat, would it make you weaker? I really don't think so. I think that's just not true. Hey man, I'm not telling anybody that you can't. I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? Maybe I should ask somebody about that, but why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, you can't even see the muscles. Is the gym, is it really just, is it just the, the function of working out? Is it the place? Is it, is it the numbers? The 315 bench, is that all? Is that all it is? Do you not want to reap the rewards outside of the gym? You can tell somebody, oh, I have a 405 bench. But then when you take your shirt off, it's like, it's not as good, as being like 225, but you're 10%, that's my take on it. I can't understand why on earth you would do that. And like I said, I'm neither, Mr. Lean or Mr. Jacked, but I just can't understand. So, anyways, last topic. I just got finished watching The Wolf of Wall Street, A long movie, apparently. That must have been at least 2 hours. I was like, damn it, like I got a video to film, How long is this gonna go? And it was a great movie. I had no idea Martin Scorsese directed it, but anyways, the point is, I could live that life. That's the kind of life I want to live. It's not everything about it. But I mean, the fast cars, the house. I'm more of an apartment guy. Just because, it's super high up. That's really it. And there's no exterior. Or you can be like, oh, I live in that building. Like, that's the exterior. But, you don't have to pressure wash the outside of your apartment, You don't gotta cut the grass. So, if I had a choice, I'd live in a penthouse, And there are a lot of drawbacks. Oh, shoot. I can't even spin in my own chair. Whatever. And I've never lived in an apartment. I've been to some. I've stayed, a couple nights, and but so there's some drawbacks. Anyways, man, I mean, it's like, it's the, the money, the fame. It's like, I mean, you could get anything. I mean, the movie made it seem like, this guy was, on top of the world. Like, he could get anything that he wanted. When, I mean, it was just so incredible, And that's the kind of life that I want to live, Just of, I don't know, excess, really. I mean, it'd just be fantastic, I mean, I mean, that Lamborghini, that white Lamborghini, man. Whew. How many motorcycles you could get, to never have to work, or you can spend all your time in the gym, getting buff, and you go ride your motorcycle, then you go drive your sports car, then you go home, and you've got, like name brand cereal, and you've got, the most comfortable designer clothes, and, oh, I got a stain on my shirt, I'll buy a new one, kind of thing. Just an excessive lifestyle. It's just, I feel like I could live that, if I had those things, I feel like I could do that, and I'd never get tired of it, or I'd never get sick of it, or I'd never lose it, even. But now, how do I get, how do you get something like that? It could be, the Wolf of Wall Street, and trade, what did they say? Fraudulent stock options? I'm not from New York. I'm not from New York. So, dude, I was born in Maryland, not New York. So, I mean, I can't do that, But how do you make that much? How do you make that much money? How can you do that? And what was it? What did his dad do in the movie? Wasn't he like a normal guy? His dad was like this normal guy. His mom was, normal. At least I'm pretty sure. Another one. He said they were middle class, weren't they? So, middle class guy, and he has a 170-foot yacht with a helicopter on it in the 80s, in 87. Now that's nuts, How do you get that kind of money? I mean, especially that young. What did they say? He was like, I don't even want to know. Like, I'm thinking 26 or 28 something. Did they say in the movie? I don't know. I'm not too sure. And I just watched it. I'm not too sure, and I just watched it. I'll probably watch it again tomorrow. The point being, I don't know. Maybe sometimes you have to, do what it takes, I guess, in order to get the things that you want. I guess that's the message. Sometimes you have to, I don't know, do not the greatest things, or maybe, sacrifice a few things in order to get something that is better or outweighs whatever you gave in return for it, Maybe try to get just try to get the upper hand, I guess, on yourself. Just to try to get the best deal as possible, I guess. I mean, the dude got 3 years in prison in the movie, at least. I don't know it's based on a real guy, but he probably got the same thing. Let's be honest. They don't exactly give you, high time for that kind of crime. So, I mean, all that, just not even, I can retire with all this money, just the experience. I mean, how many people in the world get to experience something like that? Sure, he did 3 years in prison and lost everything, maybe. He probably didn't lose everything, but, I mean, just for the experience. And then what, you go back to be, a normal person again. Live, a couple fantastic years, and then be a normal person, versus be a normal person the whole time. What's, I mean, and, to me, it's like, what good is that, I feel, in being just, I don't know, maybe not a normal person, but maybe less than what, you feel you could be. I feel like it's that way for me. I feel like it can be a lot more than that, if I just did a couple things, like, so, anyways, I'm running out of money. I had a job for a little bit, and just as they were paying me decent amounts, you know, because you get the job and you got to go through training and all this, and then they start to give you a little more hours now, you know. Just as soon as I was starting to get a little bit more money, I had to move halfway across the country. Okay, and I've had no job for the past month. I went through $900 in the past month, and I have no bills. I have no bills, and I've gone through $900 in the past month. And now I feel like I can certainly save money when I know that money is coming in. I don't know. It was just weird for me, but I absolutely was saving money. I think I spent, you know, $20 over 2 months that I was doing that work. You know, $20. Yes, and it was on movies too. I was renting movies. I would rent like a movie, about like every week, and it was like what, $3.50. So a little more than $20, but you know what I mean. I don't know. Maybe I gave up when I got here. Because I think deep down I knew it'd be a little while. And so I said, you know, screw it. You know, why not make things? You know, why not be a little? I don't know. Why not treat myself? You know. Anyways, and I've had no money before. You know, this is nothing to me. You know, I've had no money before. I've had less money than I've had now. I've had less things than I've had now. There were times where I didn't have my driver's license. There were times where I didn't have a bank account, you know, most of my life. So, hey, you know, I try to look at the bright side. Gotta get a new driver's license. I've got to get my birth certificate and my social security card, the originals too. What's up with that? And, you know, you just gotta bring it into the DMV and then say I'm this person, your ID, all this, you know, and then they'll essentially turn around and give you the piece of paper. It's not a big deal, but you do have to have those things, and they're of course halfway across the country, you know, with my family, you know, and so I have to pry those out of their hands, you know. I have to say, no, give me this, you know, which they're mine. And then I have to get them here. Anyways, and this isn't even that bad to have an out-of-state license. Come on. And I'll certainly get my license before I get a car. It'll be a while. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. The talking portions, they're great. I feel I love them if I have something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? They're great if I have something to talk about, which sometimes I don't. Now this time I would say I have had 3 days to put these ideas together, but realistically I came up with all of these over the course of today. But channel's doing great. Put a yellow heart in the comments, and I say that because I'm thinking about the color yellow recently. I might, you know, when I get my first car, I might paint it yellow, or some kind of yellow stripes, or yellow and blue, you know, kind of an electric mix, you know. Anyways, yellow heart in the comments if you made it this far. Thank you if you've made it this far. You know, like, comment, share, you know, bring some opinions in. You know, if you have anything to say to me, any comments, voice your comments, of course, you know. Feel free to subscribe and you know, ring the bell. I mean, I upload every other day. You can be sure of that. But just in case, you know, I give you, you know, a freebie or something, you know, a little bonus. Hey, you might not know, unless you have notifications on. So this video has been going on for a while, but thanks for tuning in. It helps me when you watch videos, you know, makes me feel great. I hope you get something out of it, you know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So, peace.